everybody. Hello, live stream people. Welcome to another Jamila Jasper live stream. Today's video, I'm definitely a little bit more low energy than normal, but hopefully we can keep it together. I can keep it together and get through this. So thank you to everyone for coming in. I'm going to just quickly go through the list of topics while I kind of wait for people to join the stream, but that part won't take too long before I get into the video. So hello to everyone coming in right now. We are going to go through the current new releases, the books I'm working on, a new audiobook giveaway. Hello. And I also am going to go through Patreon updates. I'm going to show you new book covers on this thing. That's my notes, but also has the book covers. And I'm also going to talk about upcoming releases. And we do have, I think I said this, a new audiobook giveaway today, but it's not going to be a promo code giveaway because I do have a big surprise announcement, which a couple people know because I sent them personal emails. But aside from that, it should be new information for everyone else. So let's just get into the topics right now and talk about the current releases, what is out right now, what you need to know about these releases. Should you buy the books? And then we're going to get into the what I'm working on and the little secrets that I normally drop in these live streams. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes, and I apologize, but I am going to forget literally everything if I don't look at these. So we're going to go with not my latest release, but my latest novella release. So not my latest novel, but novella release, which was Julius Cancer King. Now, I believe we talked about this book in the last stream, and this was the Zodiac small town romance. If you have read Julius Cancer King, definitely let me know in the chat right now. I would love to know if you've read it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that book right now. So this book is in the Small Town Zodiac series, and I started that series and people enjoyed the first book, and then a couple of the books weren't really doing so great. And so I just decided to write what worked and put my characters in a situation that I felt like you all would connect with better. And so I felt like being stuck together in a storm was kind of giving off good vibes for a lot of the books. And so I've done the stuck in a snowstorm thing in a couple of the books. I think you'll see it in Duke Aries King, in Terran Taurus King, as well as Conan Aquarius King. But I wanted things to be a little bit different. So in Julius's book, we have a tornado. We also have a divorced black female lead. We have a 40-plus-year-old black female lead. I don't really think in my head Lachelle was not really, I don't know if she was plus-sized per se, like I went out of my way to write a plus-sized character, but I wanted her to be at the very least curvy. So she's got curves, and Lachelle from Julius Cancer King is named after a $10 a month patron. So when you subscribe to the $10 a month Patreon, the $10 a month subscription on Patreon, there we go. The live streams, you find out how many times it takes me to get things right sometimes. So when you subscribe to that tier, I will put your name in a book. Now the issue with that is there's a limited number of books. So sometimes you have to say subscribe kind of a while to get your name in the book eventually, because I have already picked out the names for many of the books. So I've been trying to weave things in, give my $10 a month patrons a little shout out. And so Lachelle, big up to Lachelle. Thank you very much. Lachelle has supported me for so many months. I can't even remember right now how many, but quite a few months. And I really appreciate it. So I was really happy to get her in the book. So in that book as well, I also had to do some research about tornadoes because I didn't really know too much about tornadoes when I came up with this idea outside of, oh boy, what is that? Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz, outside of the Wizard of Oz. So that may not be scientific information about tornadoes. So I learned a lot about tornadoes writing this book to make the scenario of them being stuck more realistic. And I also wanted to ask you a question. If you are watching this, what do you call tornadoes? I know there's other names for them: cyclone, funnel, cloud, twisters. So if you have a different word that you call a tornado, let me know in the comments and what part of the US you're from or the world. That would be interesting to me. You can let me know anytime or in the comments if you're listening to this after. So in Julius's book, so we have we talked about Lachelle. Julius is sexy AF. I'm in the mood for a blue collar man fixin' stuff. Something about the summer just puts me in that type of mood for that blue collar alpha individual. And so Julius is a slightly younger man. He's giving Mr. Fix-It, and even if Lachelle is Miss Independent, he wants to be there to support Miss Independent and to also fight off her ex-husband, who I think is a funny, evil character in the book. And at some point, maybe I will go into that a little deeper, but not today, because we got to move on to the next new release. So the next new release is Damaged, and that is book 2 in the Crispin and Amina series. I have gone into this at length in previous live streams about how I took the serial seasons, added extra words, and so season 1 is split up into 2 books. I also changed the covers for them, and we'll be talking about that when I just go over all the cover changes I've made recently. But book 2 is out, and I had a few, just from putting book 2 together and listening to readers, I had a few things I wanted to let you guys know about Damaged. So I wish I could just throw up, let's see if I can throw up very quickly here a little picture of the book cover so everyone knows what the heck I am talking about. Now, Damaged is now book 2 in the Crispin and Amina series. And this book, I feel like, dives into more of Amina's trauma, and book 1 kind of initiates their relationship, and book 2 is the book where they choose each other, and we learn a little bit about why Amina, who's our Black female lead, is so messed up about relationships and why she finds her attraction to Crispin very disturbing. So this book is one big trigger warning. However, I do feel like the subject matter, and if you have read the series, I really don't want to spoil this. That's why I'm being very strange about it. But the subject matter is something very difficult, and it's something that I believe statistically 1 in 10 people experience. It's something traumatic that Amina has gone through. And if you've read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't read the book, go read the book. And so in the story, I feel like a lot of times if people want to write a book about that type of thing, it's like they want to share the gritty details. They want to convince people that it's bad. But we already know it's bad. I wanted to write a book where Amina has this trauma, she has this thing that she's carrying with her, but it's not just about showing you the gritty details of what happened to her. It's about how she processes it, how this trauma affects her relationship to her body, to her sexuality, and to Crispin. And the book is also, just like all my other books, it's a spicy, damn good time with a lot of mess and tea. But Amina's character was one who has a lot going on emotionally, and I really like that about the serial and these books. So if you haven't checked it out yet, consider reading book 1, but the most recent release is book 2, Damaged. You can see all my sexy ring lights reflecting. And so let's go back into our current releases, right? So that the 3rd book in that series, by the way, will be coming out in November because I need a lot of time to get my act together. So Crispin and Amina's story continues in November. That will hopefully give you a lot of time to catch up on book 1 and 2. And book 3 is called Depraved, and it is available for pre-order. And this is going to be exploring Amina and Crispin's relationship without the drama of school and seeing what they get up to in the summertime. So definitely keep an eye out for when Depraved comes out. My advice is don't bother trying to remember. Pre-order now, and when the book comes out in November, it'll just go straight to your Kindle. By the way, as I'm talking, if you have any questions, anything you want to know, it doesn't have to be on topic. too much, but you know, don't be crazy, but you know, it doesn't have to be exactly on topic. I come on here so I can answer you guys questions. If you're watching afterwards and you're like, well, I have a question, like, is she going to answer? There's a 90 to 100% chance I will reply to your comment. So feel free to just ask me anything that you may want to know. Now let's get into the good stuff. This is why you came here, the forced arranged marriage, romance, and my work in progress books. We're going to get right into the heat right now, and that is Mafia Possession, book 4, which is the book in question. So with the dark romance, people sometimes get upset when I have to make the post, and so I come on here on the live, and if you have any questions, you are curious, you want to yell at me, I can explain things. Thank you, Spo Editorial says, loving the astrology series. Thank you very much. It is something that I started writing for fun, and so I am happy that readers connect with it. When I put it out, I honestly wanted to write a long series of short books, and I honestly believed that you all would not really read or enjoy them, and I would have to cut the series off. But every time I think this is it, nobody gives a damn anymore, you all come out and prove that there are still readers out there who enjoy the books, and I'm just so grateful for that. So quick sidebar to be grateful for readers. I genuinely appreciate it. So let's talk Mafia Possession. So the blog post just went live. Did I post it in my link in my bio for you to easily read? No, I did not. I did not do that. However, you can read it by going to jamilajasper.com/blog. It's that easy. I'm not one for remembering complex hyperlinks and things of that nature. So if you just head to my website/blog, first thing there, Mafia Possession, Chapter 1. Now, full disclosure, the patrons have like 5 or 6 chapters right now. So if you are a greedy little binge reader, like I am, you may want to consider a Patreon subscription. I always talk about the Patreon because I feel like we have a good mutual relationship. And so I want to hype them up, not just for supporting me extra and meaning so much to me, but also for being a dope community. I am not one to come on the internet and lie like that to the point where I will say that they're dope when they're not. I would just stay quiet. I love the Patreon community, so if you want to be a part of it and get hella free chapters and stuff ahead of time, and I'm always messaging them personal stuff, it's a place to be. So Spo Editorial says, are they all scheduled for audiobooks? Your narrator's voice is so sexy. So here's the thing with audiobooks. As long as I can afford to make them in the series, yes, there will be more audiobooks. So Chris, my audiobook, we're going to take a quick break because we were going to answer this question in detail and talk about Chris. Chris, my narrator, is fancy. I guess I'm not extremely experienced in the world of audiobook production and voice acting, right? I'm an indie author. You can see that I am, I'm not 70 years old, so I don't have a lot of experience that comes with age. But I have learned recently some things, and I've learned that Chris is in what they call a Screen Actors Guild, which is for official acting talent, okay? And if you listen to the books, yes, his voice is sexy. We have done 3 books already, and so we'll get to that soon. And there are 2 more that we are about to get into production with. Now, here is why that is slowed down. I wrote this long message to Chris talking about the project, making plans on the timeline, and when I hit send, something happened, it didn't go through. But the message was so long, and we're into communication over it, that I need more time to rewrite it. So we're about to get started, but not yet. Chris and I work together really well, I think, and you guys love his voice, and he likes doing the books. So for now, until the well runs dry, more audiobooks will come. So Mafia Possession, Chapter 1 dropped today. If you have any questions about Callum and Zaria's story, Mafia Possession, while I talk, throw those down in the comments. I will get who commented, right? I'll get to your comment unless it's something that makes me like deeply uncomfortable. Chances are I will reply to your comment, or if there's like for some reason a million comments and I can't get to it. So I am done with Mafia Possession and the edits are done finally. My editor and I have been working and reworking certain parts of the book because after Rian's story, we have already discussed my tears over how hard it was to genuinely feel like this book would match up to Rian. So I have put a lot of work into it, and I think if you start reading from chapter 1, you'll get Zarya's perspective. But honestly, you are not going to fall in love with Callum until you get into his antics. So while I needed, for the purpose of the whole book, to start with Zarya's chapter, and that's what I've posted up on my blog, I feel like you are not going to get the vibe of this book until chapter 5, and that's why I'm happy that the patrons are finally there, because there's just going to be little tidbits and it's going to pull you along, but the falling in love part is not going to happen in chapter 1 right away. It's a build-up. So there's a lot of personality tension with Zarya and Callum. Their dialogue is going to have you on the ground laughing at times and screaming at times. And the book is 76,000, which for me is pretty damn long. I tend to write between 70 and 72K for the full-length novels and 18 to 25K for the novellas. So for me, 76K is a long book, and I think it'll be worth it. So consider pre-ordering Mafia Possession. We got Second Chance, Force Arranged Marriage, Enemies to Lovers, Brother's Best Friend. Callum is 6'8". He lifts weights. He is stacked like an IHOP triple house of pancakes, okay? Callum is everything. Zarya, I've discussed before, is the first biracial female lead I have put in a series. And I really want you all to enjoy this book when it comes out. It'll be out on July 31st. Again, if you have any questions or comments about the book or scenes that you want to see, definitely add it to the comments. So I think... let's see if I can think of anything else to let you know about Mafia Possession, because sometimes I stay on script and I'm like, I could have said that, but also I am one to say the wrong thing pretty often, and so I like to just plan a little ahead so I don't ramble on and get myself confused and say something that I haven't thought through. So, with that being said, Callum and Zarya's story, let's talk about the sex scenes. Let's just do that. That's something we can discuss. There's a first time scene because there will be flashbacks. There is going to be a lot of passionate arguing that turns into something else. And there's going to be, I'm trying to think if there's one scene in particular that I know you all are going to love, but I think all of them pretty much. And also the first time. I think the first time scene is going to be a fan favorite. So Spodatorial says, loving the series also, but I'm behind. And that's definitely okay. I totally understand. Step 1, everyone is busy. That's why I try not to give spoilers very quickly for the books and to just talk about something that hopefully everyone can enjoy no matter where you are in the series. I really appreciate you guys coming, even if you haven't read the books and everything. So thank you so much. So all of them, I'm sure, says Yoli, thank you. And Janet Moda 1015, hi. So now I'm saying hi to people. Oh my goodness. So now I always feel bad if I say hi to one person and I didn't say hi to every single person. So hello to everyone. I do acknowledge you. So Sandra Lovedub6 says, longer the better. I like longer books. It's harder to write longer chapters for the books. Is it harder to write longer chapters for the books? So I would say that's not the problem, isn't the longer chapters, but it is, it's the total length, because I feel like I have to put out a book on a certain timeline. So the total book length, managing that is more difficult than the longer chapters. If I could do everything like serials, actually I think I would be burned out and die. But then in theory, I would be able to put out like a chapter every 2 days that was longer, but not really. It would be very difficult. I think it's hard. I think anything longer maybe can be a little harder, because of how much you want to flesh out and how much time you have and just time constraints as an indie author. So that was all I had to say about Mafia Possession, but I do have more works in progress, more things I'm working on. So the serial is done. We'll get to that, but I'm working on Augustine, Virgo King, the next book in the Zodiac Romance series. If you are excited for Virgo King, or if you are a Virgo, let me know in the comments. Any Virgos in the house? I'm not a Virgo, but I think a lot of people want this star sign. So I go in and I do research. Now, a lot of my research is I'm looking at the memes. What are people saying about Virgo men in the memosphere, on Instagram, Pinterest? I Google traits of a Virgo man. And then I also interview individuals I know who are invested in astrology. And I think a lot of what you get from Virgo men is sexy earth sign vibes. He's meticulous. He's organized. A Virgo man is a leader. He leads the way. And they like things the way they like them. So Teresa Mitch 85 says, not a Virgo, and that is okay, as long as you are ready and willing to appreciate a Virgo man. So in this book, let's talk about this book. So Yoli says, I'm a Cancer and I love the Cancer King. Hotness. Thank you. I was so surprised at how that book came out because, you know, life is random, right? We're going to all meet different people of different signs. Some of us know 10 Scorpios and no Capricorns, right? I don't really know too many Cancers, but I have a sister, and my sister knows a lot of males who are Cancers. And so I got her opinion. Now, since they were exes, her opinion was maybe not the most positive, but I use it as a jumping off point, and I thought, you know what? A Cancer man is sexy. And so Julius actually turned out better than I expected because I wasn't sure where I was going with it, like originally when I was thinking, what do I know about a Cancer man? Now, the Virgo man. Let's talk about the concept for this book. It's in the description, so it's hopefully not a spoiler. So this is another book named after, with a main character named after a patron. So Spoa Editorial says, my brother is a Cancer. So some people know them. Julius gave life, says Villainess 1031, and Yoli says, well done. And also, if I mispronounce something, try and give me a little guide in the comments. I will try my best. So Trinity was the best friend in Julius's book, and Trinity is getting her story because I just became obsessed with Trinity while writing the book, and I thought, I want Trinity to have her own story. But I wasn't sure. Trinity has what we call a dominant personality here in the business of writing. She is the best friend who pushes our nervous little heroine to have fun, go be a hoe, love Julius, get trapped in the bathtub with a sexy man. But Trinity herself is single. So what does Trinity do? This book is going to have a similar idea to an old book of mine, and often critiqued. I may do a whole live on this book, an often critiqued book of mine titled Purchased for Pleasure. So what is similar? In this book, I have invented a world, what we call fiction, where student loans are starting back up in October. If you are someone who happens to have a college or a master's degree and took out a loan, you may have been aware that federal student loans former students are required to pay them back beginning in October. So in the book of Virgo King, Trinity finds an unconventional method to pay off her student loan, and she becomes a mail order bride to a white man who moves her to Alaska. Trinity does not know shit about Alaska, okay? And when she arrives there, she is going to want to get the fuck out. But the man she meets in Alaska, Augustine, is giving sexy lumberjack. And he's very loosely based off of a man who is apparently famous that my friend sent me from TikTok. You may have heard of him. Message it right in the comments if you've heard of him. And he is a man who sexily chops trees. I can't even tell you his URL because I go on TikTok to post. I don't watch because I will get distracted. I cannot let myself be distracted ever. But I saw this sexy lumberjack video and I was like, it's something about a man chopping wood that we need to see in the Virgo book. So he is going to have big lumberjack energy, okay? And we are going to have Trinity discover that maybe she doesn't want to get away from him as badly as she thinks. So we are going to have Alaska, lumberjacks, the hoe best friend finding a man, hilarious moments, and also he is going to be somebody who's going to make you question your sanity. You're going to be like, I have not felt this way about a character in the series since Taryn. So I'm hyping him up a lot because I'm obsessed with this book. It's the one that I want to procrastinate by writing, and it's probably going to be 20K words, but hopefully it would be more. Okay, Spo Editorial says, oh yeah, I've seen him hot. Yes, the lumberjack guy. I'm so sorry I don't know his name, but my friend sent me the video and I was like, girl, I'm gonna write a book with a character like this because I love to see it. A man who's chopping a tree. Another thing about this book before I move on is that my patrons voted for the pet names. We had a little vote and people submitted their pet names. And I love when I ask my patrons to name things because their ideas are so good. I love you guys. This is me giving you kisses. Thank you so much. The pet names for this book are going to be phenomenal. And I want to thank my patrons when the time comes. So, lol, he needs to know this. Well, I'm sure a lot of people write things based off of him. He's a very good-looking man. You know, if he's in a relationship or has a wife, no disrespect. I'm just over here in my corner saying I love a man who can chop a tree. So, my other work in progress is something I have never spoken on. I have not spoken on this book at all. I have not said a single word. I haven't spoken to my patrons. I haven't spoken to my friends. Who knows about this book? And this book is book 5 in the Mafia romance series, Mafia Stalker. All I have done is complain that you all need to trust that the book will be good. I think in the previous video. Hello to everyone who joined, by the way. But this book is shaping up to be crazy AF. I don't know what to say. So this is Oren's book, Oren. So his name is spelled O-D-H-R-A. Why am I writing it like it makes sense? O-D-H-R-A-N. Why am I writing it? But just pretend it makes sense. And we pronounce it Oren because we looked it up and we love a good traditional Irish name for the series, and Onika. Now I'm getting vague recollections that I have spoken on this, but you may remember, if I have spoken on this, that Onika is Blasian, okay? We are doing another biracial female lead, but this time she is Black and Asian, and I did say that I don't remember the specific ethnicity because I changed it from my original idea, and the book is still a work in progress. So ethnicity reveal coming soon, not for me, but for my character. So this is a dark romance, and it is smutty AF. Like, I don't know what snapped in my brain, but I wanted Oren to be the quiet guy with shockingly good dick. I know, I can't believe I'm getting on a live stream and I'm saying that, but I feel like I have to start loosening up how I communicate things and take you into the moment with me and hope that you guys appreciate me. My friend who is a romance fan, she's actually, I wouldn't say she's a fan of me. She's a fan of Kenya Wright though. And she really tries to encourage me and help me to get out of my shell. And so I try to talk to you guys. I try to think, okay, talk to them like you're talking to your friend because they need to know the tea. So Oren is the quiet guy with shockingly good D. He's the one you think, oh, he's quiet and he's maybe like a little creepy. What's going on with him? And he's a freak, okay? But a freak in the good way where you're like, oh, damn. So when I started writing their book, I knew he was going to be a freak. I had that in mind already. But something about the way the two characters ended up bouncing up together on the page, it's delicious, okay? So Onika is also a plus-size female lead. So we have 2 out of the 5 books in the series, we got a plus-size female lead. And, okay, I gotta go read some comments here because I'm going too fast. So Yoli says, haha, nice. Kira the Great, the dirtier the better. Thank you. The tea/coffee, I think it's tea with Visionaire Art. Def, we fam, Kira the Great, and Villainous 1031. Kenya Wright is amazing as well, but girl, your dark romance is beyond 10. Lol, thank you. And Visionaire Art says, I can't wait. And I'm just trying to wave to people as they join in. So in this book, the sex scenes are crazy. We also have some psychotic mob shit. I can't even I can't spoil a single part of this thing. This is the part where I'm like, I don't know if they're going to think I've lost it this time. And we also have a plus-size female lead. That was what I was getting to before. 2 of the 5 books have a plus-size female lead. So book 3, Heaven is a plus-size lead. And book 5, Onika is a plus-size lead because I thought, okay, if I'm going to do 2 biracial characters, then I want to have one of them be a plus-size lead just to kind of, you know, branch out a little bit. I do think my characters are diverse, But what I will say is that I definitely have a viewpoint of like the average black woman being 90% of my characters. And then I don't, outside of there's a lot of variation within the average, but I don't really write biracial leads a lot or anything like that. And so that's valid, and now I'm doing it. So does Oren equal baby version of Rian? Yes, basically. Except I would say he's different from Rian in certain ways, in that Rian is like someone who had to learn some self-control in prison. And Oren doesn't have that. So he is like the baby version of Rian. He's like Rian before having a kid. So I hopefully you guys like that. Keisha, hi! You finally made a live, and I'm happy to have you. And Villainess 1031, thank you for that question. And thank you everyone for just participating in this. Because we are finally at the point. I was about to tell y'all that Mafia Stalker is a stalker romance. I have that noted down. Y'all, I think you know, Mafia Stalker is a stalker romance. That's the only other point I have about that one. And I don't really think I needed to mention it. And Oren, I would say, though, is way more into, let's leave that as a surprise. Let's leave that as a surprise. So this is the big, it's maybe not as big as my other giveaways. It's a giveaway. The announcement is big. A new audiobook in the Zodiac romance series is here. And it went live when? Like 5 a.m. or something. So if you are new to Audible, you can get the book for free with the link in my bio. If you are not new to Audible, you can buy the book now if you need it like ASAP. Or I am going to be doing giveaways for this book on Patreon and my email list soon. So if you are not part of Patreon or my newsletter, that's the next time Adrian Scorpio King is going to have a giveaway. But right now, Adrian Scorpio King is live. Chris's second book is here in its entirety, and you can listen to it on audio. I think it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It's the perfect length. Every time I hear his voice, I'm like, it is time to swoon. It is time to swoon. So I'm going to try something that I almost forgot I said I would do, because I am someone who is easily made anxious by my own writing. Let's try and listen to the sample together of this book and see if we can do that. So I'm gonna go with Kara says I'm binging on these books. Keisha says, oh yummy, sounds interesting. And we have a yes please. I've been a member of Audible for almost 10 years. Okay, so maybe you could get it with a subscription, but I will also do a giveaway with a code. So yes to all the swooning, says Keisha. Okay, let us listen to the sample.
It's her. She looks different, but not so different that I can't remember her. 2 years was enough time to change me, but it's been more than enough time to change the object of my obsession behind bars. Everything about her face is exactly as I remember it. I was wrong about her body. She's on the slimmer side now, but still curvy the way I thought she was. I like her shape, which ain't too common around here, and she has nice, full lips. Those lips are so fucking pretty, and I've wanted to kiss lips like that for a long time. What the hell was her name again? I think it started with a C. She probably doesn't remember me. I don't want her to know that I remember her either. Fuck. Watching her gets me hard as a rock. She's my second chance. She was my first chance, but I fucked that up being an arrogant son of a bitch. I won't screw up this time.
Okay, we're gonna pause because I am turning red and I can't take it anymore. But the book is live, y'all. The book is live. It is 2 hours and 28 minutes. His voice is everything. I am dying. So, in a good way. So, the next book we're doing that's coming out. Does he turn red while reading? Now, I don't know that because we have never met in person, but I do like how we work together. Now, Villainous 1031. Well, shit, sir. You can read to me anytime. Yes, I want him to read all 12 books so badly. Like I said, we've finished 3. This one just dropped. This is why when I saw that question, I was like, I can't wait to tell you guys. And then the next book, Cyrus, is coming out soon. I don't know when it's actually going to drop. because what happens is, the narrator and I, we stay in contact, and after I pay him, he approves everything, and then Audible has to go through like this 2-week thing. And sometimes it's really fast. Like with book 1, it was out in like 5 days, and we were both like, we didn't expect that. And with the book 2, it took a couple days as well. So Kara says, I like when you read also. I have considered doing with some of my series, splitting it so he reads half of it and I read the other half, the girl chapters, but I don't know if people would like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, let me know, and I'm going to try to go through the other comments. So Mafrancafi, I'm so bad at pronouncing these, I'm so embarrassed, says his voice is as I imagined it. Sandra says that was hot. Kara says I like when you read also. So I probably, if you like the audiobook session, we can do another one of Cyrus before it even comes out. If I'm able to do another live stream, that would be incredible to me. And if you guys like it, that would be fun. Again, if you're new to Audible, you can get the book for free, signing up for a free trial. And I will let you know. So let me see, actually, okay, let me go do something, because let's listen to Cyrus King, a little bit of Cyrus King right now. Now, this is not officially out yet, and also I did not plan to do this. So let's have fun. Let's be naughty. Let's go figure out where the actual files are. So I'm looking in my files. This is some high-level hacker stuff of hacking my own things. And let's listen to the audio sample for Cyrus, even if it's not up yet. So like, nobody has heard this. I haven't posted this on Patreon. It's not a full chapter. This is just me going in to listen to a sample for you guys.
You seriously expect me to go through with this bullshit diversity hire? I growl at my sister. My red hair looks like a mess today, and the last thing I want to do is handle more PR when I look like crap. The latest scandal is bad enough without a rogue ginger situation hitting our small town papers.
Okay. We don't know what happened to the rest of the sound. Yeah, so my sound just suddenly stopped. That's amazing. Great timing. Well, we have a little bit of that. As we know, I'm listening to that. I'm like, damn, Cyrus was an asshole. But Cyrus was what? Leo King? I see what I did there. So the next giveaway with codes is going to be in my next live stream. But until then, definitely check out the book. I don't know why the whole Cyrus thing isn't playing. It's a Wi-Fi issue. I will be posting the chapters on Patreon, though, sometime soon, maybe already. I haven't been logging onto Patreon because to reply to comments lately, because sometimes I get overwhelmed by all the comments and I just need a little break. So Keisha says, just like your chapters on Patreon, leave us wanting. Well, I know, I feel bad. I'm like, why is the sound, where did the sound go? Like, why did it just disappear? It's not even coming back. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. But the audiobook is coming, and now you know for real he did Cyrus because I played a few seconds. So I'm going to quickly go. Kara says I've already read it. Thank you. I appreciate when you guys read the ebooks, and if you're not interested in the audiobooks after that, I get it. But I also love having the other version, especially because Chris's voice, chef's kiss. So we have Mafia Possession chapters going out on Patreon. Adrian Scorpio King audio chapters, Cyrus Leo King audio chapters, and then we are going to have some more votes for names and character details. I really hope that the Cyrus Leo King wait is not that long to answer Villainess 1031, because these books were produced back to back. So there is not going to be there was maybe a week difference between us finishing up Cyrus and Adrian's book. So I don't imagine you will have to wait more than 1 week for book 3. So I hope that brings some momentary relief to you all. And then the next book, the books are probably going to come out like that, like be a little while and then come out in 2 book chunks back to back, because that's just kind of how our production schedule is working right now. So this next part of the book is the new covers part of the book. And I'm wondering if if I am going to run a little longer than normal today. So if you want to stay and watch, I welcome you to stay. We're going to just talk about the new covers and I think maybe one more thing and summarize everything. So let's go. Of course, they're all going to be backwards. So this is the new cover for Despicable. And this is book 2, Damaged. And I changed these because I was concerned that I was not reaching the market of bully romance readers, and I needed to be more trendy, which is not always my number one talent. So I changed the covers and I shared it with some of my trusted readers, and you all really liked the books, and it seems to be allowing the books to reach more people. These 2 new book covers also, because I knew I wanted to change them, I had to wait before I put the books up on other platforms. But now you can read Despicable and Damaged on iBooks, Nook, Google Play. On Google Play, I'll talk about Google Play in a second. Smashwords, Google Play, iBooks, Nooks, Kobo, and also in several different libraries. I am not 100% on how do you get the books from the library. I have tried looking it up, but via Overdrive, Hoopla, and BorrowBox, you should be able to get the books. On Google Play, the one thing I wanted to talk about is that I have special South African pricing, because I have been informed that many South African readers enjoy Kindle books. However, the books are not always as affordable in the South African currency. And so knowing that there is an interracial readership in South Africa, I have priced the book at $9.99 ZAR in South Africa on Google Play, which I've been informed is a popular platform. So if you are South African and for some reason watching this at a time I'm sure which would be inconvenient to you, you can take a note of that pricing, and that pricing will be consistent for my books in South Africa. So next we have some other new covers, and these are the hockey romance covers. So Varsity Servant, new cover, and then I have to scroll through a bunch of things that are not relevant. Varsity House Pet, new cover, Jason Makiba's book, and then Dustin's book, Varsity Property. So I have another hockey romance series coming out this year that was supposed to be a football romance series, and then hockey romance blew up, and it is my favorite sport. So I was like, hello, I thought everyone liked football, and I was the weirdo who liked hockey. And then everybody likes hockey romance. Okay, I'll give y'all some hockey romance. I love hockey. So I am going to be putting out 3 more hockey romance books this year, and then we're going to take a long deep dive into more Mafia mess. But until then, hockey romance. Thank you, Keisha. Love those covers. And thank you, Kira the Great. That's what's up. Really awesome. I appreciate the comments. So these covers are going to be up for the older books. And then I think I updated the covers for the next books already. And those books, you can pre-order that next series. It's called McGraw College Minotaurs. And it's on Amazon and available for you to pre-order now. That series is going to be a lot of fun, and I wanted to update this hockey series as a kind of celebration and reminder of what we have coming soon. Now, I want to say, okay, I have notes. That's why we have notes, people. And those are, I love hockey and football. You are not weird. Thank you, Sandra. Kara says, reading Varsity Property now. I hope you enjoy it. I love that book. I love a good stalker romance. Call me crazy. Villainess 1031 says, hockey is the best. Spo Editorial says, hockey, yes. Big hockey fan, let's go Stars, says Teresa Mitch 85. You know, there's an author, I think, who's a Stars fan. I want to say, my pronunciation is going to be messed up because of my background. Xavier Neal is a big Dallas Stars fan, I believe. I love her posts. And Spo Editorial says football too. I know, and my football moment is probably coming, but I know way less about it, and hockey is blowing up, and so I'm like, okay, well, if I knew y'all were gonna blow up hockey, we would have never left the ice. I love a good hockey player. I love a good hockey romance. So the thing I almost forgot to mention is Varsity Servant is 99 cents this month. Hello, so if you love hockey romance, great time. 99 cents for the whole month. Get the book. Xavier Neal is fire, says Villainess 1031. Agreed. I I have not met an indie swirl author that I have not liked. Kira the Great says, oh, how is meeting Theodora? Lovely. She is a wonderful person. She emanates grace. She gives off the impression to me as the type of person who genuinely wants to connect with both readers and authors. Especially the way she helps other indie authors is something that I genuinely look up to. And I was definitely fangirling and clamming up a little bit and didn't know what to say. But I feel like she did not even notice, maybe or mind, that I was awkward, and she's very gracious. And I felt very lucky to meet somebody who I would consider to be a role model for me as an author. So hopefully that answers that question. And if she, for some reason, watches this, I hope it's not cringe. I'm just trying to be genuine, honest, and positive because that's how I felt about meeting her. So my upcoming releases are, I'm going to go through a little quickly because you guys know all of this, sort of. Mafia Possession is coming at the end of the month. It is so soon. I know it feels like a long time, but July 31st, Mafia Possession. And if you're impatient, stuff is going to be going up on Patreon. August 17th, that's Virgo King, Augustine Virgo King. I messed myself up with August and Augustine, but that'll help us remember. And then Mafia Stalker was coming out on September 5th, and Depraved is coming out on November 17th. Spo Editorial says her 50 Loving States series was great. Agreed. And after meeting her, I got into her Scottish Wolf, and that was also a very fun read. Highly recommend. And I think I've actually covered everything. So if you guys have any more topics while I just review the most important points, any more questions, sorry, just let me know and I'll try and just review the most important points and end today's video. It is a little long, but not as long as too long, so thank you for sticking with me. So we went over new covers today. So I redid the Despicable series, new hockey romance covers. Those have been changed. There may be new covers on the way for other books, but right now the Boston Irish series is going to stay the same. We talked about new audiobook out. Adrian's Scorpio King is out on Audible, and we listened to some of it. So good. Maybe in the next one, we'll be able to listen to a little bit more as well. So then we also have my work in progress books, which we talked about, and then my latest releases, Julius, Cancer King, and Damage, the second in Crispin and Amina's series. So at this point, I am trying my Lost Cause. I'm trying my Lost Cause to play the audio sample, and it just won't play. But we listened to a few audiobook samples, and we talked about a lot of things. I really appreciate you all coming. Villainous 1031 says Scottish Wolf and 50 Loving had me like, that's my interpretation of that face. So yes, I love the community of readers and authors. So I'm very happy to have met her and several other people. So is Adrian the second audiobook? Yes. Adrian is the second audiobook. Cyrus is the third. I might be out of order in the series and how they were produced. And that was a matter of length. I think I wanted the longer book out first. So it might be confusing, hopefully not too confusing, but Cyrus will be here soon. So the release dates will not be very far apart regardless. With that being said, I believe that I have reached the end of this video. If you guys do have any further questions, the comments and direct messages will help. Will be a place where you can find me, and I'll try to get back to you by tomorrow morning. Additionally, the link in my bio has everything you should need to order any of the books that I've talked about in this video. And I don't have another live stream date yet, but I will let you know as soon as I'm able to schedule one. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you guys being here. I forgot to mention that I'm wearing this shirt because I wanted to talk about the hockey romance covers. But I'm wearing the shirt, the Bruins shirt, and we talked about hockey. So thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely evening, enjoy some reading, put your feet up, don't let anybody stress you out, and have a great time. Bye-bye. Thank you, Keisha. Bye.
She be calling on a Monday, wanna meet on Tuesday, asking me to fix me up real nice. She can wait until the weekend, she wants off the deep end, telling me to bring the stuff I like. I don't